Welcome to the Knitathon. It's day 15. We are halfway into our Crafting for a Cause Knitathon, daily knitting, in support of the American Cancer Society. So I'm hosting this fundraiser because cancer is in my family and there's lots of support that have been around the family from all types of people in different ways. So there's different ways that you can support those going through cancer. Your words mean a lot and words go a long way. Just letting someone know that you're thinking about them means a lot. And if you don't know what to say, just say, I'm thinking about you. That goes a long way. But if you don't have those words or can't say that, you can also show your support by giving a cozy item. That's what we're creating all month, cozy comfort items for patients that are going through chemotherapy. Even if the person that you know has cancer isn't going through chemo, they would still appreciate a cozy item. So that's been on my heart to supply that and support this cause, the American Cancer Society. So when you donate to my fundraiser, you're putting projects on my calendar to knit. Let me show you what that looks like. So here's my calendar for the month of November. Sponsors have been absolutely amazing. So amazing. Hey, Kelly. Kelly's one of our amazing sponsors as well. Thank you for tuning in with us this morning. So here's the calendar that we have for November. It shows all the projects that we've completed so far. Today we're working on a cozy camel scarf sponsored by Laura. Thank you, Laura, for sponsoring today's project. So amazing. So every spot on this calendar is filled up until the 29th. On the 30th, we're going to do something special. We're going to have a raffle for all the sponsors. But if you're looking at this and you're thinking, "Oh no, all the spots are gone. I can't sponsor." You absolutely can still sponsor because there's an overflow tracker. And we have actually completed two projects on the overflow tracker as well. So it's not too late to donate. It's definitely not too late for you to donate. I am just so overwhelmed by the support that has been received. It's just absolutely amazing. And we set an initial goal that was met and exceeded. We set a second goal that was met and exceeded as well. So now we have a third goal, and the sponsors continue to support. So it's absolutely amazing. You can jump in line, jump on board, and donate as well. And if you're wondering, here are the items that you can sponsor. You can sponsor one of these particular items for me to create, or you can just do a flat donation and I will choose an item to make based off of your donation. So all the items that I'm creating are being donated to my local hospital to cancer patients going through chemotherapy. So let's get started because the knitting that we are doing each day, the goal is to complete the project within the hour. We're just here for an hour. But I've gotten a head start on today's project, which I'm so excited for. So, the project that we're working on now is actually a complementary project to the Overflow project that was sponsored by Carolyn. Look at this beautiful, cozy chemo hat. I'll put it on this side so that you can see it. And then I'll hang it up on this side so that you can see it. Thank you, Carolyn, for sponsoring this project. Thank you, Lynn. This is gorgeous. So the person can wear it flipped with the brim or wear it down flat. So there's options. So that's what the color scheme is for today. We've done 110 rows for the scarf project. And so we have to go to 220 rows. So I'm going to bring you in closer so you can see what we're doing. So right now on this color, oh, let me show you what we're using. I'm using Big Twist. This is my first time using Big Twist. I got this in my yarn haul the other day, and I love this yarn. I love this yarn. It is so soft and it loves this machine. It works so good on this Addy circular knitting machine. We're using, what color is this? This is called purple. It's purple. And this one, I think this is ivory. Yeah, this is ivory. So purple and ivory are what we're using today. I like to get a head start on the scarf whenever we have a scarf because I just want to try to finish the project here live. But if we don't finish it live, I finish it over on the fundraiser page. And if you would like to be added to the fundraiser page, if you're not, I can definitely add you there. Just comment page, and I'll be sure to add you to the fundraiser page. Hey, Kelly, you like Big Twist? Yes, I do remember you mentioning Big Twist as well. But of course, I know your favorite yarn, Kelly, is I love this yarn. I have to show you this. I'm not sure if you saw my haul, but I had to try your favorite. I love this yarn. So I got this red with the metallic, and what I plan to do is make like a Christmas cap, a Santa cap with this. So I'm trying to decide if I want to get the white with metallic for the brim or just use this ivory. But I'm excited to make myself a Christmas cap with that color. Well, hello, Laura. It's purple. Laura is our sponsor for today's project. Yes, we're doing this purple. I thought the color was going to be called like plum or something because it's kind of a deep color, but it's purple. Thank you for sponsoring this project. Right, Kelly? We're at row 17 right now, and we're going to 150 with this purple. Then we're going to add the stripes. And if you haven't seen this, I just want to show you how great the sponsors have been. I love that. We set a goal, we met a goal, we set another goal, we met another goal. Now we have a third goal set. God's not done yet. And so I keep knitting and I love it. Fill my calendar up with all these projects so that we can donate to as many people as possible. Coming up on row 135. Good morning, Pam. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're working on purple and ivory. We're working on purple and ivory for our cozy chemo scarf today, and we're using Big Twist. This is my first time using Big Twist. So far, I love it. I love it. Yes, I love it. It's awesome. Laura, you love the cheering? I love the cheering too. We're all cheering over here for how amazing the sponsors have been, how amazing you have been. All the sponsors are in the chat. I love it. So we're at 141. Nine more for this purple color. Just want to put this up here to show that where we are in our support. Well, 147 more rows. This is the last one. So now we're doing color change. I'm going to cut that yarn off. We're going to do 7 rows of this ivory. Wait, is this what we're doing? Yes. So 7 rows of this. And this is 7. So now we're going back to the purple. We're going to do 6 of the purple. This is going to create the stripes that correspond with the hat that we've already created. So that's the first row there. Yes, this circular knitting machine is so cool. That was, I think, 3 more on this. I love this circular knitting machine. And then this is 3. Well, it's 6. So now this last stripe of ivory for 7 more rows. Putting our stripe in here. Well, good morning, Susie. Thank you for joining in on our live. Susie is also a sponsor. We've got all the sponsors in the building, in the chat. I love it. Actually, I need to tie my yarn yarn change colors here, because it creates a gap when you change the color. Just want to close that gap up right now. and we'll finalize it when we take it off the machine. A few more of this ivory, and the rest is going to be the purple. This is the last ivory. 70. So that's our last stripe for this scarf. Now we're going to finish it with this purple. And I like to finish the scarf with the same color that I start with, so that when I bind it together, the color that you see is just the same color on both sides. Hello, Miss Ashley. Thank you for joining in on the live. These colors look good together, right? I love them too. Let me just tie this color change. I'm so glad you're tuning in with us. So this color is going to take us, I'm feeling how much yarn I have. Going to take us to 220. So there's like 50 more rows of this color here. And of course, this machine that we're working on is pretty amazing, just as Laura has mentioned that this machine is amazing. If you're not familiar with the Addy, I want to share more about it with you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Knitting at 9. Today I want to share my fantastic Addy circular knitting machine. This machine has 46 pins and it allows me to knit tubes and panels really quickly. It's a game changer for my knitting projects. What I really love about the Addy is how user friendly it is. I'm new to this circular knitting machine, but it is perfect for both beginners and experienced knitters because you can go above and beyond. And the quality of the finished items, it's just amazing. I got my Addy set up on my Dreambox table, the ideal crafting spot. It just really keeps everything organized so that I can focus on creativity without distractions. I'm really excited to explore the possibilities with this machine throughout our series. Let's dive in.
Yeah, we've been having so much fun with this machine. It has been a great support in this knit-a-thon too. We have done circular knitting, which is this hat. I'm sorry, which is this scarf, as well as the hat. Both of them are done using circular knitting. But we've also done panel knitting, which is back and forth. And that has been done for the stems on our bookmarkers. For creating flower bookmarkers, the stem is knit on the Addy in a panel, and the flower part of it is crocheted. At 196, almost at 200. This gives me a lopsided workout, but I'm okay with it because we're crafting for a cause. I'm going to give you some music while we go through the last 20 rows. So we're actually coming up on the very last stitch here. It's the last one for this purple color, but I want to go ahead and just leave myself a tail long enough to bind it together. Cut that off. And this is what we have left in this big twist. So the tail I'm going to just add inside of the machine so that we can add the waste yarn. This is going to help us take the project off of the machine and help us bind it together. So this is just going to be waste yarn, and we're just going to do a few rows, maybe like 5 or 6 rows. One, 2, 3, loosely tie this one. So I'm going to take this waste yarn out, put it in the middle of the machine, close up the Golden Gate Bridge, and then I'm just going to turn around twice, and the project is going to fall off the machine. If it doesn't fall, we have to help it fall. Yay! So now let's get rid of the machine. I have it bracketed to the table as you saw in the message. So take the bracket off. Can you check it out? Yeah, my lopsided arm workout. A Popeye arm and an olive oil arm. Right? It would be cool if there was a way that you could change it for left-handers and right-handers. The left-handers will become ambidextrous. Okay, so now there are some color change spaces that we definitely need to tie off in here. So I'm going to move this yarn out of the way. So we can have all the space. Well, let's make sure to get rid of the little bookmarks with my alcohol. Okay, now first turning it on the wrong side so that we can tie up the color change spaces. So these are loose ties right here where we change the color. So I'm going to pull this, but not too tight at first because I don't want it to pucker. I just want to close up that gap. So the first tie is kind of loose, but the second tie is tight. The third tie is also tight. Same thing on all of them. Same thing, same thing. First one is loose, just to let the stitches fall into place, not pucker. And the next are tight. And since this is a double-walled scarf, these ends are already technically weaved in, but I'm just going to cut them to their about a couple of inches. And let's do the same thing on this side. Whoa. I don't know. It seemed like it got. I know I'm not finishing my sentence. A tie seemed to be a bit wonky. But okay, so those are all our loose ends. The end with the long tail is this one. So let's turn it on the correct side. Look how cute. Stretching out a little bit. Then the end with the long side, we want it to be at the bottom and on the right, because when we sew it up, we're sewing from right to left. So here's our end tail. And here's our other tail. So I'm going to get the waste yarn out of the way. And going with the metal darning needle. The darning needle has a bigger hole and a blunt end, so it's not sharp, so it doesn't split your fibers when you're going through. Okay, so when we're doing the, oh wait, this is the one I loosely tied. I'm going to take that tie out. So when we're mending up the scarf, the very first stitch is on the same side. And you see this is where the tail is, and this is our other side. So the first one that we're going to do is just going to be a single. We're going into that next stitch just to kind of pull it together. And we're going in this first stitch by itself just to bind the two together. So we're basically going to mend it all the way around so that these two are kissing. And the waste yarn helps us to see the stitches a lot easier. So we go in the previous stitch and the next stitch. Hopefully you can see this. We're just alternating back and forth. So now on this side, we're going in the previous stitch and then the next stitch. Now back on this side, going into the previous stitch and the next stitch. Trying not to catch the waste yarn. We don't want to sew up the waste yarn because we want to just pull that off once we are finished. So I'm just going to do this all the way around. Sponsors, you have been amazing. I can't say it enough, honestly. I can't say it enough and I can't show it enough. But I do want to show you what we're going to do on the very last day of this 30 days in November. On day 30, we're going to have a prize drawing for our sponsors. Hey, sponsors, donators. I don't know if you know, but you are going to be entered into a prize drawing. It's a raffle for your donations. And if you haven't sponsored or donated yet, you still have time to enter into the raffle if you are listening to this in between November 1st and November 30th. You still have time to enter into this raffle. How do you enter? By donating to the American Cancer Society and sponsoring a knitting item. I am raffling off 3 items, 3 winners. Thanks to Sherry, that's going to be 3 winners. Yay, Sherry. So I'm raffling off my Positive Affirmation. This is a blank notebook that you can use for journaling or however you want to use it. Grocery list, thought list, brainstorming, whatever you need, right? This is my Positive Affirmation 90-day prompt journal. This is intentional. There's also a bookmarker in here, which is a card. But this takes you through 90 days of affirmations and 90 days of journaling and 90 days of scriptures associated with your daily affirmation. And it focuses on self confidence. So, 90 days to unleash self confidence. This is my first volume of my Positive Affirmation series, first of 4 volumes. And also, this Positive Affirmation zipper pouch. What can you use it for? Whatever you want. It's a big sized zipper pouch. Um, I guess this is about, it's close to the size of 8.5 by 11, but that's not the exact size. I don't know what the size is, but you have this to store all the things that you want to store in there. 3 winners to win one of these items. So if you've not donated or sponsored today, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I don't know. What are you waiting for? Definitely encourage you to sponsor a project for me to create so that we can give someone some comfort. If you don't know what to say, sometimes you can just give the gift of comfort. Give a gift that lets them know that you're thinking about them, lets them know that you want them to be in as much peace or comfort on their journey. We are creating comfort and hope for people that have cancer and are going through chemo, or even if they're not going through chemotherapy. Anyone that's going through a challenging season in their life would love to have some form of additional support and or comfort. And we're doing that. You're doing that. You're doing that with your donations. You're doing that with your sponsoring items to be created. There's also words of encouragement, affirmation. I am really big on affirmations, positive affirmations, as well as prayer. So if you'd like to drop a name in the chat that you want to be prayed for, someone, a family member, a friend, even your own name, and I will definitely add it to my prayer list. And I know that we have some other prayer warriors in here that are watching live and that are watching on the replay as well. So feel free to drop a name in the comments that you want prayed for, someone that you want prayer for. And we will definitely do that because it's all about support here. We're supporting each other in whatever challenging season we're going through. And if you didn't catch it or didn't know, the items that I'm creating are being donated to my local hospital for cancer patients that are going through chemo. So I'm knitting every day in November. We're knitting the live projects, also the overflow projects that are knitted offline, like this hat here that complements the project that we're working on right now. So I'm knitting projects live and projects offline for this project, for this knit-a-thon every day in November. All the sponsors and projects that are sponsored this month, I'm committed to have them finished by the 29th. So fill up my calendar, fill up my overflow calendar. I accept the challenge. And I will be delivering all of these items in December. Oop, I almost caught that waste yarn. We do not want to do that. Once again, one of my favorite parts of creating a scarf is anyone that has watched this, do you know what my favorite part is? I will let you guess in the comments. What my favorite part of creating the scarf is. We're coming up on the end. This big twist is so soft. Oh my goodness. Something weird going on right here. It's okay. Oh, Pam's guessed what my favorite part is. Sewing the scarf at the end and changing the color. The color change is so pretty. I like to see. I like to watch the replay and speed it up so that I can see the color change and the project grow on the wheel too. But yes, I definitely like the putting it all together. So that's a good guess, Pam. Any other guesses on what my favorite part of creating the scarf is? Very good guess. I love doing those things too. It's probably up at the top of the list, the color change and sewing it together. It's at the top. It's towards the top. Got just a few more before we close this hole up. Uh, okay, this was the other side yarn. And I think we have made it all the way across. So you know you've made it to the other end when your yarn is on both sides like this, one on the top and one on the bottom. So now I can take this darning needle out, and now we can work on removing the waste yarn. That's my favorite part. That's one of my favorite parts of the project is removing this waste yarn because it rips right off. It's so gratifying being able to just rip out these stitches and not damage anything. Look at that. Rip, 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 rip. This waist yarn serves a purpose. It's functional and fun. It's functional that it holds the end of our project so we can mend it together and see the stitches really good, but it's fun to just rip it out and see all of those stitches just disappear. Here's our waist yarn on one side, and here's the waist yarn for the other side. This one we have to take off the cast on row first before we can rip them. So I'm going to go around and take off this very first cast on. Before I rip it. Okay, now, now I can rip it. How cool is that? Like, should be some ripping music. It's just the little things. And then we can rip this all the way out. There. Waist yarn number 2. So now I'm going to turn this around to the side where our 2 strings are. Just going to cut off this excess. So now I'm going to tie a couple of knots here. Or 3. And we're going to weave the end on the inside of the scarf because it's a double walled scarf. So the end is going to be swallowed up in the middle. And I can do the same thing with this side. And have it come out on the other side. And stretch it so that that gets swallowed up inside. Just cut off that little excess. And here we are. We can stretch it going this way, make the stitches fall into place. And we can stretch it going this way. How cute is that? With our hat. Awesome. This is our overflow project that is sponsored by Carolyn. Thank you, Carolyn, for sponsoring this project, this overflow project. Or they can flip up the brim and wear it like this. And then this is our project created live today. Our infinity scarf, sponsored by Laura. Thank you, Laura, for sponsoring today's project. So cool. These two, of course, complement each other. And see, this is why I like to end the row and begin the row with the same color, because this little braid or mending seam that you see here, it just kind of blends in when you're using the same color. If not, you would have both of those colors kind of weaving in and out with the color change. But I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's just preference. I prefer it to be um, just kind of mellow in the change, not terribly obvious. So that's awesome. Oh, Pam loves the matching set. I love it too. I love these colors too. And this big twist is oh so soft. It's so cozy. Oh, so my favorite part is ripping out the waste yarn. I like ripping out the waste yarn at the end of a project because it's so gratifying to be able to rip out stitches and not have a damaged project once you rip out all those stitches. So I like that, ripping it apart. Kelly, thank you. It is pretty. Laura, it is cute. Yes. Thank you for sponsoring this. So cute. And look at us finishing a project um, within the hour. But let me go ahead and add the tag. So I always seem to forget to add the tag. How are we going to fold it? Let's fold it. Like, sorry, I'm rocking the camera. Just want to fold it like this. And I can add the tag. So if you didn't know what the tag looks like that we add on every project, here's the tag. Handcrafted with love and sponsored by. So there's a message on here for the recipient. That's the person that's getting this project. They'll know who sponsored it, you, and they'll have a nice little message, a thoughtful message from you on here as well. Cool. So let me add the tag. Oh yeah, the waste yarn. It's fun. You're welcome, Pam. All right, so let's add this. Need my crochet hook. A matching crochet hook, and I'm just going to make a bow on here. I don't want to make a knot. I don't want to make it hard for someone to take it off. Using the crochet hook just to pull those ends on both sides. So that way I can create a bow and it will be easy to take off. Show it on this side and then on this side. Sponsors complimenting each other. I love it. I absolutely love it. You are doing amazing things in this knit-a-thon. I am here for it all day, every day. Well, for an hour. Every day of the month of November for an hour live. But I do knit the off air projects whenever I have time. And just to remind you, here are the other projects that are on our overflow tracker that I'll be knitting offline as well. So thank you, sponsors, Leah, Deborah, Susie, as well, for these adding projects to the overflow tracker. And here are the projects on the tracker for November as well. So I can put a completed sign over this scarf. And we have another scarf that we are creating. Lots of scarves coming up, another one that we're creating for tomorrow's live, and the overflow project that we're making. Um, I think it'll be, I guess I'll do two scarves. I'll do Leah's scarf as well. Thank you, everyone, for joining in on the live. I'm so glad that we are able to complete this project within the hour for our daily knit at 9. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow in tomorrow's live. If you have questions about donating, if you have questions about sponsoring, if you have questions about the American Cancer Society, all the questions, anything that you have and you are concerned about, just comment and let me know. Comment on whatever platform that you're watching us on. If you're watching on Instagram, you can let us know. Hi, Deborah Morris, chiming in on Instagram. Thank you for tuning in and watching over there. If you have any comments, let us know. If you're watching on Facebook and you have comments, or YouTube, let us know. I'm here to answer your questions. If you're watching on the replay, I appreciate you as well. Until tomorrow, Janet, Janae, and Addie is the circular knitting machine. We're saying bye for now.